Hi everyone, I'm Cassie, the new brand ambassador for Incandescent Shine Acrylics. If you want to keep watching, I'm jumping straight into the video and showing you a new set that I did yesterday. So I started pushing all the cuticles back with my cuticle pusher, just making sure that all the hard skin that I'd had on the nail was pushed right back, so then I can remove it with my cuticle burr. I just gently tickled all over the cuticle area just to get rid of any of the dry and hard skin that had built up over time on my last acrylics. Once I was happy with all my prep work for that, I then went in with Young Nails Swipe. It's just a cleanser to get rid of all the dust and the debris that I had left on my nails. So with each nail I went in and sculpted them, and then I put Young Nails Protein Bond on as well. I also did a thin layer of Simple Clarity clear acrylic just to form that nail underneath, so I wouldn't have any staining or anything from the nail from any of the acrylic. So firstly I used Frostbite, which is a lighter blue. It's got a shimmer in it. It's really pretty. I made sure I got that all the way up to the cuticle area without touching the skin. This can cause lifting, so you need to be really careful around the cuticle area and where all the skin is. I decided on this nail I was going to pull it down like a fade. I then popped on another little bit of Simple Clarity clear acrylic, and I pressed in blue Mylar flakes that I just got off eBay. I pressed all of these in, making sure that they set, and then I went over with Simple Clarity again just to cap them all and make sure that none of them would fall out. And I also cap the top of the nail to make sure that when I file it's easier, so that I don't lose any of the flakes and I don't file into any of that lovely acrylic colour. On the middle finger I went in with Virgin White, which is just a really clean, crisp white acrylic from Incandescent Shine. I did this as an ombre design. I then went in the middle part of the nail with Frostbite and feathered it down. I did lose a little bit of the white, so I just popped a little bit back on the tip and feathered it back up. And then lastly I went in with Nebula, which is another blue, but it's a really darker blue. Still has like a glisten of a bit of shine in there, and it's so pretty. So my ring finger, I went in with Nebula again. I used this on the whole of the nail, and then I decided I was going to do an imprint on it. So I got some netting, and just on the bottom part I imprinted there. When it was not quite dry, it was slightly tacky, I imprinted that and let it set for a minute. I then popped on the Virgin White acrylic. Lastly, on my thumb, like I did with all the other fingers on my hand, I went in with Simple Clarity and just sculpted that nail first, really thin layer. I then went in with Frostbite over the whole nail and decided just on the tip, fading up, I wanted to use some glitter. So I used the Glitterati Nails Mermaid. Make sure when doing this that you cap all of the nails, so when it comes to filing you've already got your shape there. You just need to tidy up your edges and take off any bulk that you have. By doing this you won't file into any of the glitter or the Mylar flakes or the nail art that you've pressed into those nails there. You don't want to lose that. On my little finger I went in with Virgin White. I created a smile line for this one. I then went in with Nebula and I pushed that all the way up to the free edge of where the smile line was that I created, and on the very tip I went in with Frostbite and just slightly feathered it up, so it was another ombre but more with a smile line. I then made sure I capped all of this so that I wouldn't lose any of it when it came to filing. So now, once I've made sure all my nails have set in time, I went in with a Young Nails 150 grit file. I started to make sure all the apexes weren't too thick and bulky. So I started to form them, make sure they had a lovely curve on them. I also went in with all the sidewalls to make sure they were nice and crisp and clean looking. I made sure that all the length was all the same. Because I went in for a stiletto type nail, I wanted to keep the point on the end of those nails quite sharp. Finger, the one that I did the imprinting on, I went in with my e-file and I used the Young Nails medium arbor band to just take down the bulk of all of that white that I'd put on top of where I'd put the net in, purely because of laziness, because I thought it'd take me too long to file it down. So I decided to do this and it was super quick. Okay, so now we're getting to the best bit where I finish, make sure that they're all the right size, they're all the right shape. I then go in with Young Nail Swipe just to get rid of all the debris, all the dust, all the dirt from the nails so they're lovely and clean. I then decided to get what few crystals I have left and I use the Accent Gel Bling On Gel. This stuff is absolutely amazing to stick any of your Swarovskis, any of your gems, any little nail art bows or anything like that. This stuff, once it's set, it just does not budge. I then set them in my Sun 6 LED lamp for 2 minutes to make sure that they are not going to move. And then once I'm happy with that, I went in with my NSI Glaze and Go High Shine Top Coat and I also cured them for 2 minutes in my lamp. Lastly, I popped on a tiny bit of cuticle oil there just to moisturise those cuticles. And that is my finished design. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. I've really enjoyed making it, and my first experience as a brand ambassador for Incandescent Shine has been a really good one. I absolutely love all the colours that I've got so far. They're really, really easy to work with and highly pigmented. I will leave a link to the website for you to all take a look at the lovely acrylics that she has on offer, and I'll also leave a link to my pages and my YouTube channel. If you could also give that a like and a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.